And you welcome back to the Aviva fan studio. They're happier now because it has finished here. The Republic of Ireland won, Austria won, so we'll settle for the point. Delighted to be joined once again by Al and also Clinton. Al, your reaction to that?
Yeah, it's a positive result in terms of we get a point and it keeps us top of the table, but overall the performance wasn't really great. I came in very confident before the match. The momentum coming into the game was quite good, obviously coming off the back of the win last week. A lot of the talk and the vibe before the match as well was pretty good. And I was confident and thinking Austria were there for the taking, but the performance was very disappointing. We just huffed and puffed, Bernard at best, and it took us until we went to goal down to really kind of spark into life. Second half was much improved, but again it was just huffing and puffing, long balls, bursting them into the box really, and he brings on Murphy. In fairness to O'Neill, he threw everything at it and he brought on all the attacking players that we had, but rather than carving them up with any quality, it was just, as I say, like hoofing balls into the box. And we got the winner with Walters. Walters, in fairness, kind of stuck at it all day. He was isolated for large spells, but he had a real battle with the centre halves up there, and he came out with the goal, and he was probably the best out of all the players, but there was no one that really stood out. I was disappointed with the performance, I have to say.
All the positivity was on our side, obviously, coming into it, Clinton, and, you know, we were all talking about the Austrians being low in confidence and they wouldn't play well, but in the early stages in particular, that was almost like a role reversal.
Yeah, they were the best team. They started on the front. They were good, really on the front foot. They passed the ball around really well. And they had chances in the second half, really and truly, in the final third, and they could have been 2 or 3-0 up. So, all in all, it's a very good point. I think we were lucky. I don't think we played good football. I've said it many a times, international football, even when I was coming into it, one thing you've got to do is you've got to keep the ball, because if you don't keep the ball, you'll be a long time chasing it. And I can understand it's difficult, because I was playing at championship level and then went to the Premier League, and you find out the difference different. But international football is totally different, and it's something we're going to have to learn. But once again, Martin O'Neill, he's got the magic touch, and whatever he does, he manages to get the results, so fair play to him.
Yeah, Martin O'Neill still unbeaten at home in qualifiers. We'll take the point. We'll be happy with that in the room? Yeah, I think the room is for us. Top of the group, top of the group. Okay, we're going to look at 3 things we learned. First up, Al, Tuez or not Tuez, because he certainly changed things when he came on.
You know my answer already on this, Bernard. No, but just like on a serious note, he has to play, like, and it sticks out like a sore thumb when he doesn't play, how kind of deficient we are on the ball. It's terrible to watch, it really is. And I think Martin O'Neill is getting away with a lot. Obviously, that whole debate, it'll spark the debate in terms of is it results orientated or do you want to be playing football as well and losing. Obviously, it's about results and qualifying, but so many times we come to the games, it's almost like I'm a broken record now. It's every game, that's the pattern, that we never keep the ball, we never show any signs of life of kind of creating passages of play. It's booming balls into the box, and at some point you're going to get caught out. I thought today was going to be the day that we were going to get caught out, but as Clinton says, Martin O'Neill does seem to have a lucky touch as well, and we got the point, which keeps us on top. But he's our most creative player. He gets other players playing as well. You have to start him in the game rather than bringing him on when you're chasing a game.
That number 10 role certainly was rather unemployed for that until Wes came on, was he?
Yeah, you can see in just little glimpses. His first touch, he gets the ball and he just whips a good ball in to the box, and we nearly scored. The defender nearly puts it into his own net. He's got that quality. You ask any striker, if you're running around making runs and the people in midfield can't see a pass, you get frustrated. Today I would have got frustrated out there because I'm thinking making runs and the big centre halves are just booming the ball forward. But I think it starts from the centre halves. The centre halves have to be more brave and get on the ball. You have to. That's international football. You have to be brave. You can't just boom it, because if you boom it, it's going to come back to you. But people like Wes need to be in our team on a regular basis, for sure.
How does the room feel about that? We're all Wes fans? Yeah, I think that's as fairly as unanimous as you get. Okay, point number 2, starting on the front foot. Clinton, that was something we spoke about during the week. Martin O'Neill spoke about, but it didn't happen.
Listen, I've said it many times. When you put on the shirt to play for Ireland, they're the best set of fans ever to play for. They're unbelievable. They make noise, and you should be honoured to go out there. But I can't believe how you start the game like how we started today on the back foot. We meant to start on the front foot. We didn't get going. The passes were sloppy. We were way off them. And at the end of the day, it felt like Austria were at home, but they looked like they were the home team in terms of the way they were getting on the ball and making things happen. And I thought we were poor, and that's just because we don't take the ball and we're not brave enough to get on the ball. And everyone makes mistakes as footballers. You're going to make mistakes, but it's trying to get on the ball and be positive. Anyone can play a sideways ball or a backwards ball. It's being positive, playing forward and trying to make things happen. So I was a bit disappointed there, but as I said before, it's a good result.
Yeah, it certainly is a good result. Point number 3, qualifying hopes, which I suppose brings us over to the table here, Al. We are top. We've a point ahead of Serbia, of course, play Wales later on tonight. How do you read that table at this point?
Yeah, it's hugely positive, Bernard, and that's, again, when you go back to the debate about the way we play and the style of football, you look at the table, we're 12 points, it's hard to argue with that. But again, you go back to the performances, there's only so long you can get away with playing like the way we play. And this isn't a one-off, this is every match that we've watched for how long now. The Wales game a few weeks ago was 0-0, it was absolutely dreadful as well. Today was no better. And Austria probably deserved to win today, I would say. Fair enough, we huffed and puffed in the second half and got the equaliser, but it's still going to be very difficult. Our next game is Georgia away. Georgia passed us off the pitch here, you remember, a few months ago, so that's going to be tricky. Serbia are at home to Moldova after the game tonight against Wales, so they should pick up 3 points. And if Wales were to beat Serbia tonight, they're right back in it. So I still think it's going to be very tricky. There's nothing a given. But we're sitting kind of in a really strong position. And I suppose if you'd ask Martin O'Neill, it was always going to be a tough group. If you'd ask him at the start of the campaign, after 6 games, would he have taken this position? He probably would have, to be fair to him. So we're still fighting anyway.
Austria not in a good position there. If Serbia don't lose to Wales tonight, are we getting very close to eliminating these two teams, and then it's a straight shootout between ourselves and Serbia?
I think Austria are out of it now. I think it's all down to the game tonight. All eyes will be on Serbia, Wales. If Wales win that, and they have to win that, I feel, to get back into it. Obviously they're back in it then, it's 12, 11, 10, and then it's all to play for really. And we've tough games coming up, not only Georgia away, we've Serbia after that and Wales. And it's looking like it's all going to come down to those last 2 games, Bernard. But definitely I think Austria out of it now, they needed to win today. It's all going to come down to the game tonight. And I think Wales have to win tonight as well.
Let's not forget, Clinton, we have to win this group to qualify. It's only second place that gets you into the playoff. Third place is not good for anybody. How do you read that?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. September is a busy one. We've got a double header. Georgia we play on the 2nd away, and then on the 5th play Serbia at home. That's the big game, Serbia at home. But I still believe it will go down to the Wales game, at the last game. I said it at the start and I'll say it now, it'll go to the Wales, because Wales will have a say on it. I actually fancy Wales to get something today at Serbia, whether it be a point. I know they're missing Gareth Bale, but I think the 3 teams it will be between will be Wales, Serbia and Ireland. I don't think Austria will come back into it. I think if they'd got the 3 points this afternoon, they would have. But I think we're in a good position. I said it all along. I do believe, something in my heart tells me we'll finish top of the group, and I hope I'm right come the end of the campaign.
Well, we all hope you're right there.
Yeah.
We're liking the positivity. Finally, Al, are we in a strong enough position, considering like it was Georgia away that got us back into the last campaign, undone Scotland, who were ahead of us at that point, and of course it was Georgia away as well in the past when we took that late goal from Aidan McGeady, and we have Serbia as well. Are we in a strong enough position heading into 2 tough games?
Yeah, well, you look at the start of the campaign, Bernard, 3 out of the first 4 were away from home, so we've done a lot of the hard work back then, picking up points, and the position that we are in a really good position. It just frustrates me, and people might sound like as if it's negative. It's not negative. I felt coming into the game tonight, we spoke about it during the week, I felt coming into the game, the position that we were in, that tonight was a game to stick your chest out and say, here we are, top of the group, we're at home against Austria, let's take the game to them, and show exactly why we are top of the group. It was anything but, and that's been the case for how many games? And it's not negative, it's just a case of you can't keep going playing the way that we're playing and expect to pick up results by nicking set pieces and nicking scrappy, scruffy goals like we do. It's going to come to a halt at some point, and you're playing against the likes of Serbia and Wales with the quality they have. I would expect at this stage that we would have been much further down the road in terms of our progression, the way we play. But we're still reliant on a creative 35-year-old sitting on the bench.
Yeah, well said. I suppose just to get some positivity here, are we positive in the room or confident that we're going to qualify?
I'd say we're confident.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we'll put that down as quietly confident. Join us again in a couple of minutes' time, because we're going to be crowning our man of the match, and we're also going to be joined once again by Al Foran. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.